here have in permaculture. We were sort of looking at a comprehensive alternative to the current system of agriculture. We were also looking at more permaculture type agricultural system. We also look at the issue of genetic engineering. That I think there's great potential to mobilize people. But the problem is people are ignorant about it because, you know, companies like Monsanto, they have a lot of money, they've got a lot of influence in the media, and they can push their viewpoint. And I think part of the problem is we haven't been able to explain in a clear enough form to sufficient people that's the kind of implications of this genetic engineering, not just genetic engineering, but the whole agriculture business. Its impact on people's health, its impact on people's economic freedom. For example, you want to start changing, talk about your right-wing element, people like the DA, they talk about economic freedom, person's freedom to pursue their own economic interests. For example, if you look at the situation like in Canada, you had a farmer, Percy Smizer, now some genetic engineered seed got blown onto his land. Now, it wasn't his fault he was growing the stuff. That basically, then they come along and they're violating his rights, or any kind of farm, for example, you want to save seeds, okay? That's your economic right. According to the so-called right-wing, the so-called free market policies, you're entitled to pursue, grow whatever you want and sell it wherever you want it. But if the farmer next to you is growing a GE, and that comes along and it starts getting onto your land, and that violates your right. You can go to the rural areas, you can tell people with this GE, for example, you're just running your own farm, doing your own business, and they find a GE growing on your land. Now you have violated the company's patent copyright, okay? It might not be your fault, but the court is not going to care about it. For example, with Percy Smizer, we did a long court case and he lost it. Now that's in Canada, it's supposed to be like a country where they're big on human rights. So, but what happens in a developing country? They're going to find it growing your land, they're going to burn your crops, they're going to slaughter your livestock, they're going to chuck you in prison, and then the corporate's going to take over your farm. You can say, look, this is how it works. Basically, they use this kind of business to force all the farmers, to grow the GE, and basically it's violating people's rights. You make a big issue of that in the rural areas, and also you make an issue of the health impacts. I mean, I don't know how it affects people's fertility, but there are lots of recorded problems with people who've been exposed to GE and the kind of health impact has on people. And one of the things that basically most of our food, or a lot of our food, is this GE, and people don't have a choice. I mean, they're forced to consume something which would bring more probability has a negative impact on health. And again, they're talking about choice, the free market, and now they're forcing the stuff down people's throats. You start using those issues of basically people's economic freedom and the health impacts, and it's necessary to start inciting people. I mean, basically, these are motive things. They affect people personally. They affect people no matter what their politics are. I mean, there's this person is totally right-wing. They might have a serious problem with this kind of, this stuff being forced down their throats or the economic freedom being influenced. So you use that and you start inciting people over the basis. It's a violation of the economic freedom, violation of their health and everything, if that's done on a large enough scale.
It was, the Canadian farmers were complaining that not only did the genetically modified seeds not give you a plant which could give you fertile seeds. The seeds are infertile, so you can't save those seeds and grow them again next year, as has been the practice since time immemorial. Can't happen. Percent of Asian maize production is controlled by USA people.
We should be doing away with the ownership of land as a commodity, because it inevitably leads to concentration. People take out loans, they can't meet loans, they get closed out, and it inevitably leads to concentration. So land should be, I don't want to say nationalized, but the ownership of land should be done away with, and access to land should be democratically decided upon. And then in the more kind of immediate future, in terms of CDL program, we need to look at ways of accessing the land that is available now. And I think it feeds into issues around the solidarity economy, of setting up cooperatives on land, of providing healthy food for the community. feeds into issues around ownership of seeds and promotion of the openly pollinated seed varieties.